Alrighty, hello there. So, I'm not sure how many days later this next one is, but it's definitely a few days later. Um, so I haven't really been keeping up with the devlogs or Herbert for the past couple days, and I'll explain. It is well, you can see at the bottom right, it is December 20th, and according to GameMaker, 11 days has passed on my trial. Um, And I did a lot of work since the last devlog that was uploaded. A significant amount of work actually. So I guess I'll begin setting up this room while I talk about that. So since the last devlog, this is the wrong layer. Um, since the last devlog, I did a lot of work on enemies, Herbert's movement, and artwork. Um, so I guess the the two biggest achievements so far have been these guys, the bat and the rat. They kind of rhyme. Um, and from now on, I'm not really scared about showing code or anything because I decided that if I'm gonna send this as my final project, I'm gonna do a whole refactory of this whole project, which is fine. It's natural. It happens with games. Yeah, I'll throw in every enemy I have just for the sake of it. Boop a doo. And let's get maybe another bat in there. So I decided that I was going to do a whole refactory, so I'm not scared of showing any code. I've also decided that I'm gonna slow down a bit with Herbert, because with the pace I'm going right now, I'm kind of overworking myself and also not doing a great job at being consistent and I'm not really focusing all that well anymore on other things, as well as this. So for the past couple days, I took a break from Herbert. Um, I went back to producing music for a couple days. I hung out with my girlfriend and my family and my friends and all that. Um, so now that I'm cool with showing code, let's look at all my poor coding decisions before we. Uh, yeah. So this is another issue that I ran into. Um, so I decided on an aspect ratio for the rooms for Herbert. It's gonna be 1536 by oh crap. Uh, is it viewport one? Yes. 1536 by 768, at least for the camera, because that's what makes the most sense. And everything is 64 by 64. So, um, yeah, so it just makes sense to me because each four blocks is 64 by 64. So it's easier for me to handle. I didn't have that in this room, so that's why all these textures are not aligned correctly since I changed their origin from top left to middle. So that was a mistake I made a while ago, but you know, fixed and all that, at least for future rooms. Anyway, so let's take a look at Herbert's code as of now. So we have a few sections. We have keyboard input, controller input, horizontal movement, vertical movement, and animation. This probably isn't the best way to organize it like this, and I'll figure out how to do it better. But for now, keyboard input, self-explanatory. Controller input. I could have made these switch statements instead, but whatever. Horizontal movement is a lot more simple than I thought it would be. It's just uh, controller input moving left and right, dash input on the ground, collision, and then calculating his movement. Vertical movement is where it gets a bit more complicated. So we have that dash jump or kick flip move, which has its own properties. So if I'm in the air while I'm dash jumping, my vertical movement is lessened, or else my gravity is just the regular gravity speed. And then this is making sure that I'm being affected by gravity before anything else. Then if I'm dashing and I'm in the air but I'm not doing a kickflip, I will just have the reduced falling movement. but by not as much. And then this is just for the jump button, and then this is for kick flipping, and then this is just regular collision, and also setting values when I'm collided with the ground. It would have made more sense if I had a grounded variable, because I ended up using a lot. I ended up having to take into account whether or not the player was on the ground for a couple of things, including the platforms, but that was also like a whole ordeal itself. The platforms don't work like they're supposed to, and I'll show you why in a second. Okay, here we go. And then animation is probably the most messy of it, because I'm not sure how to organize this correctly, but we'll figure it out when the time comes. So this is just all the sprite index conditions and whatnot. And for me, it worked. For me, it works like this. It clicks fine if I have all my animation compartmentalized down here, and I know what happens when it's supposed to, and all that. If I wanted a larger scale game, in terms of scope, and I wanted Herbert to do more things other than like what he's doing here, I would not have set it up like this. I would have figured out an easier way to set up an animation system. And that's about it. His create code is just a bunch of garbage variables and stuff. This alarm is for his dash. This draw sequence is for when he gets damage, which I'll show you, which he can't actually take any real damage or die or anything yet. It's just aesthetic. This is for restarting the room, and then this is my janky code for having the Goomba type enemies, like the rats. They hit the jump on for them to die. And I don't know why I have an end step here. It makes no sense. I'm probably going to delete it. Okay, so let's start with this room. So as you can see, all the enemies are living, breathing. Okay, those bats, I'll explain why they disappeared. But check out this rat. If I jump on top of him, oh, I didn't do it. Alright, well, there you go. There's Herbert taking damage. He flashes, and the enemy dies. All that. And then this rat, I can hopefully jump on top of. There we go. If you bounce on him, you just get bounced up. And he also had a little death animation as well, which I thought was pretty neat. And then the dummies work as they always do. I reduced their health so that... Okay, these bats... I'll show you their movement code in a second, but they also have the same goal of hitting the player and then disappearing. It's sort of like a kamikaze mission, but in the air. Boop. So yeah, and you can't jump on these guys. You have to shoot them. But yeah, okay. So let's take a look at the bats code. Okay. Bow, bow, and bow. Okay. This is really inefficient. And I didn't look at any of the comments until I recorded this, but I did see one that said, hey, you should make just an enemy object as a parent for all your enemies. And I did that. Here's O enemy right here. It does nothing but just parents these guys, and it only serves as this for collision with the bullet. If it collides with anything tagged as enemy, it does this to that certain enemy. So with other, which is the specific instance of that enemy, make sure it's not dead so it doesn't do anything after it's dead. And then this hit bool is hard to explain. And then this HP thing is just, he just loses HP. And then he has a little flash with the shader that I didn't make the shader. It's just like a basic like flash white shader, and then destroys the bullet. I could optimize this, like I could micro optimize this the tiniest bit by like doing something so that I don't have to refer to other in an other statement. I don't know. I watched a video on it. It didn't seem like I needed to do it anyway since it's just such a small game, but it is good practice, so I'll include that in the refactory. But hang on, where's the bat enemy? Okay, here we go. And I didn't open any of his code. Oh, I did. So here's his create code. this is his movement speed. This is his well, this is movement, health, damage, hit falls, hit delay, which is another thing. So hang on. Okay, here's a step code. Um, if he's dead, lose all collision, and then if not, this is a regular collision. And then here's horizontal collision. But it's if he hits a wall, reverse his horizontal movement. So if he's going like this and he hits this, he's gonna go back this way. So same with the vertical collision. Except can dash should not be here. See, this is how you can tell I'm not very attentive. I copy pasted this collision. Anyway, so if he's going down and he hits a floor, he's gonna go back up, back down. So when you have him moving like this, he moves like one of those DVD placeholder things, you know? So, I thought it was pretty funny. It probably doesn't make sense for a bat. A bat would follow you. A bat wouldn't bounce around. So I might retexture him to be a fireball or something. Who knows? This hit delay thing is just so that he doesn't keep flashing, and the player can't like over damage him. But at the same time, this doesn't make any sense because you have a fixed bullet rate, and it's not like he's gonna be flashing the whole time. So, and this doesn't even affect anything. Like the hit bool doesn't reference anywhere else. So it doesn't make any sense. So I'm probably gonna get rid of it too. I can just delete it. It's not gonna do anything. Like, I could get rid of this bool here, and I can go back into the bullets code and get rid of this. Boom, done. Nothing changed. So, hey, good. We're cleaning up some of my code. Get out of here. Here we go. Hit delay too. Goodbye. No more hit delay. Woohoo. I don't know. He has the same flash shader for whenever he gets hit. Life and death. If his HP is less than 0, dead equals true, loses collision. Even though at the beginning he's losing collision anyway, it's really messy, and I don't know which one is actually working. So that's an issue, That's why I have to do a refactory. And then in his draw statement, or his draw code, oh no, animation end. If he's dead and he's doing his death animation, which he doesn't have yet, then destroy the instance. So it's unfinished and poorly optimized, but we just optimized it a bit more. And now let's look at the bat. Not the bat, the rat. Okay. The rat code is equally as janky. So, and for this, we need to look at my player's code as well. So the rat has his own code. His create statement is his crawl speed, which I shouldn't even be doing this, but whatever. And then move Y doesn't make any sense either. He has a gravity thing, so he can fall down. And then all this other stuff doesn't make any sense to have. It's really fluffed up code. That's why I'm thinking of like redoing this whole thing, which is okay. So we have the same weird, if he's dead at the beginning, changes collision, but also at the end. Oh, wait, no, I don't. See? Like, it's like... So now I know. This is the one that works, so we can go back into the bats code and get rid of this. I don't even need this here. I could just make it so that in his animation end thing, Oh, actually, no. Because if he's dead, I want to play the animation first. Then when the animation's over, I want to do that. So it makes sense. Okay. So for the rat, there's his collision, I guess. And then same code. If he's moving back and forth, do the thing. But this time he doesn't like go up when he hits the ground. Let's see. Also just make sure that like he's not moving after he's dead, because you have to wait for the animation to end. And if he's so if he's still moving around while he's doing his death animation, it doesn't really make any sense. So And then this is just to flip his sprite, and then this is his death. This is his animation, which honestly I didn't even need to do it separate. I could have just included it in here. Like that, and it probably still would have worked the same. Let's see. Let's see if it still works the same. Boop. See, it still works the same. It's really messy code that I wasn't like thinking of when I was writing it. So then there you go. If he's dead, destroy the instance after the animation's over. That's the really buggy code. So, how does it look? Oh! What's this? If he collides with an enemy, which he didn't. Oh, I guess it did. Minus his HP. Okay. Let's look for the bat. Oh no, I have him up here. Let's see. Does the bat not have HP? He does have HP. What is this? So is it in the bullet code? No. HP minus equals damage. Yeah. That should be working, right? Hang on. Let's see what the issue is. We're going to do some live debugging. Okay, let's see. Variable obat.dmg not set before reading it. Oh! No, this should be other.dmg. So that's taking the damage from the bullet. Right? See? Like, it's just like these things I don't recognize when I'm coding, you know? So okay, yeah, this is also another addition. He can shoot upwards now, which is a really funny animation. It's probably my favorite part of this whole project is getting to animate Herbert. Yeah. Okay, now let's demonstrate what's broken about the platforms. So instead, we're going to take this rat up here, and we're just going to trap him in there with some of these. Okay. He didn't stay. Oh, well, there you go. There's demonstration 1. Give me a second. Here we go. Okay. So, the rat's staying in there, right? Cool. If I want to go through the platform by hitting S and going down, guess who comes with me? The rat. And let's move Herbert back down to where he belongs. If Herbert is below the platform, guess who's coming with him? The rat. So, why is he doing this? Let's check the platform code. Yippee! This is not the platform code, it's oplat. My bad. Oh yeah, so first off, this is a child to the floor object, meaning that whenever the player is standing on a floor object, it acts the same. The way my collision works, if I had both of these in the code, I would have to do a bunch of weird finagling and spaghetti-ish to make it so that he's not getting forced down to the floor when he steps on a platform, you know? Anyway, so let's see. Okay. If the player exists and he's either below or he's holding the S key or the down key, there is no collision. Otherwise, there's collision. The reason it's like this is because you need to be able to go up through the bottom of the platform so that it works. And the only way I can figure out how to do that is to turn on and off its collision. And so if Herbert is below a platform, it's not activated, so nothing else can touch it, not even the rats. And that is an issue I'm having, and that would require me to rewrite all the platforms code. So the rat cannot be on platforms. So I decided, hey, I'm just not going to put rats on platforms, but still, it's an issue that needs addressing in the future. So if I were to come over here, be free, he's free. And that's about everything new. Other things that are new is the new art. Done by my friend Jaylene. It's great. I love the bats. I love their animations. I love the rats, especially. I don't know if you can tell, but these are their brains. That's why you're stepping on them. I love it, and I love the clones. It's probably my favorite addition to the whole project. And Herbert himself, his new moves and animations and stuff are just priceless. I love Herbert so much. Um, so let's see. Hang on. How did I even do the? How did I even do the vertical shoot? I don't even remember. I think it's in the shoot object. Yeah, here it is. We didn't go over this. I don't think it's awful. I think it works. Um, this is just to make sure that the shooting object is with him at all times. And this is his horizontal shoot. This is his vertical shoot. I think it's pretty neat. So okay, that's basically everything new. And the reason I'm considering like dropping Herbert for now or slowing down complete with him is pretty obvious. It's like in the current state that it is, I didn't code it very well, and it would require me to do a whole refactory of it. And with Christmas coming up, and as well as balancing school and the club I started at my school and just my own social life and all that, I'm not gonna be able to work the way I did for the first few days. So essentially, I burnt out, which is okay. It's my first game, honestly. It's the first time. This is the furthest I've gotten with any game, so that I pat myself on the back for that, and I enjoy it. It gives me something to do, and it's also something that I'm, somewhat passionate over. So this is cool. I enjoy this. Uh, for now, I'm gonna be dropping Herbert, but I'm gonna keep making devlogs about my experiences in game dev, because it's not like I'm gonna drop game dev altogether by dropping Herbert. I'm gonna start on something different so I can get better at coding, so I can explore different game ideas and all that, and so that I can just improve overall. So let's take one final rest in peace. Not rest in peace, because I'm gonna come back to Herbert eventually. I like this game too much to abandon it. So this is the stuff I thought I had to do, but for now, let's just give myself a big ol' note. Do a code refactory, please. Is that even the right word? I'm not even sure if that's the right word. Refactory. I always see refactor in tweets and stuff, so I'm pretty sure it's a refactory. If not, I look like a babbling idiot, but that's fine. I'm always a babbling idiot. So, for now, this Herbert stuff is going into the Herbert folder, and what's done is done. So, by the time I record my next devlog, I will have something to show for my next coding project or my next game dev project. And so yeah, thank you again for keeping up with Herbert Dev so far. Not just Herbert Dev, but just my general experiences in game dev. I will try to update my devlogs more often. And yeah, thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful night. Sorry for taking up 24 minutes of your time, but yeah, that's how it is, I guess. Anyway, have a good one. I will see you in the next devlog. Peace.